No one said parenting was easy, but it doesn't have to be a daily tug of war with your children, especially when it comes to disciplining them. So here to share her vast knowledge on this subject is Mom the Manager, Michelle McVittie. Michelle, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Great.
So disciplining our children, you're here to tell us that punishing our kids doesn't work because they're not learning the right lessons.
Yeah, there's a time and place for punishment. I don't want this to be a lesson to say, let your child do whatever. Let them burn down the house, no big deal,
Right.
Let it go. What I'm saying is don't lead with punishment, because punishment doesn't teach anything. If you ground a child because they're having a meltdown or because they skip school, then we're not having those really important conversations. So if they skip school, sure, there can be a punishment, doesn't match the crime. And also, are we working on why we skip school, or what is going on there as far as communication and behaviors, and do we need to dig a little bit deeper?
What is the child learning when it's done right, and what is the child not learning when it's done incorrectly?
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you actually about a great parent that I'm working with right now that has teenagers that is very clear with her expectations. Getting out of the door on time, going to school, that this is something that needs to happen because I can't drive you. So what she said is, this is what time you have to be there. If not, you have to get to school on your own. And then there will be a punishment of you need to go to bed at 10, or, you know, we take the phone away for a day if it gets worse and worse. So what a child is learning is, I'm giving you the opportunity to change. I'm giving you the opportunity to help you to do well. And if you're not following through because you do not value getting to school on time clearly, but what you do value is staying up a little bit later, or what you do value is saying, I would like to have my phone. So if you really want this thing, then this needs to happen first, and we want them to shift and do behavior change. And if it's still not working, then we really need to say, is this a lagging skill? Is there another barrier here?
If parents have been doing it the wrong way, or maybe not the perfect way, is there an opportunity at some point down the line to change their behavior and their child's behavior?
Of course, there's always time, and I love that question. I did parent coaching with parents that have kids in their 20s, to tell you the truth, because it was an unhelpful cycle. They were kind of struggling just to get started in life, and they were accommodated, right? So when you are kind of giving and giving and giving, or taking away and punishing, of course we can make that shift and we can own it. It's really powerful for a parent to say, I overreacted. I took your phone away for a week. Let's talk about this. What do you think is fair? This is what I think is fair. And how do we help you make that shift together?
It's all about setting expectations and communicating. That's
Yes, very much so. Clear expectations and communicating. So how do we keep track of when they're doing well? Checklists, reward charts, where we're not bribing a child. We're just saying, this is a hard task. Once you start working on this task, building the habit, we take the reward away. And reward is just noticing. Thumbs up, I'm proud of you. You know, you got angry, but you didn't throw anything.
Should a parent's messaging change depending on the level of misbehavior?
Of course, yes. And I think it's like, if this is happening on a regular basis, we really need to have a conversation. We really need to say, what is happening here as a unit? Are the parents working together? Because kids will split. I know what I can get away with here. I know what I can get away with here, right? So being mindful of that as well. If you have littles, just keep it simple. When you do what I want you to do, then you get what you want. But I'm not going to give you what you want. If your pajamas are not on, you're not going to get your story. That in itself is technically a punishment, right? Because they really want the story.
Absolutely. We've got about a minute. Is there a tip, and you've been doing this for years, is there a tip that you've offered parents over the years that most parents have thought, you know what, I didn't really think of that?
I've got lots of them, but I, but I think what I love is connect and redirect. So we're not jumping to, you better not. Instead, using that when or first, or noticing, hey, you're really upset. You really want that story. Do you need help getting dressed, or are you going to do it on your own? So you're validating them. They're seeing their emotion instead of, enough of this, go away. You better not act like this, or you're going to get it, or you're not going to get what you want. And putting a positive spin on it and watching your own emotion, that we're not hooking into their argument and that you're not getting fired up, because some kids are like, let's do this. This is fun.
We're going to get all the details of your website and social media feeds on our website, chch.com/morninglive.